Gary Chambers, U.S. Senate candidate, remarkable individual, made headlines because one of his campaign commercials shows him smoking the ganja. Well, he has made headlines again because his new campaign commercial shows him burning the Confederate flag. I salute this man. Here's the commercial.
They said, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. But here in Louisiana and all over the South, Jim Crow never really left, and the remnants of the Confederacy remain. In 1873, when a black man named PBS Pinchback won a U.S. Senate race, he was never seated. They claimed election fraud. The attacks against black people, our right to vote and participate in this democracy are methodical. Gerrymandered districts are a byproduct of the Confederacy. Our system isn't broken, it's designed to do exactly what it's doing, which is producing measurable inequity. 1 in 13 black Americans are deprived of the right to vote. 1 in 9 black Americans do not have health insurance. 1 in 3 black children live in poverty. It's time to burn what remains of the Confederacy down. I do believe the South will rise again, but this time it'll be on our terms. I'm Gary Chambers and I'm running for the U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Yeah, I would vote for him. Now remember, he made headlines because he was a citizen activist who decided to call out extreme racism in his community. That moment went viral. And then a lot of people, including myself, we encouraged him to run for political office. That is exactly what he's doing. Let me give you some background as to what he's talking about. He talked to Rolling Stone and said, and I quote, "Every single day, black people are faced with new challenges that make the American dream harder and harder to reach. It's Black History Month. And as we celebrate the progress of the black community, we can't ignore the oppressive parts of our history that continue to negatively shape our everyday lives." Last month, Chambers' first campaign ad grabbed national attention and headlines for how it advocated for legalizing marijuana in Louisiana, with Chambers sparking up a blunt, okay? Now, this new ad, perfectly timed following the approval of a redistricting bill. It's a way that typically the party in power can redraw the lines to make sure they stay in power and gain more power. In Louisiana, the way they are doing it is criminal. It is Republican controlled. On Tuesday, Louisiana Senate Republicans approved a redistricting bill that proposes new US House boundaries, maintaining the status quo of white majority districts, outnumbering black majority districts 5-1. 5-1. Despite new census data that shows black residents now make up 1/3 of the state's entire population, not reflected in their maps, however. What sets his ads apart and who's helping in their creation? There's always a background person, all right? Always a creative individual. Grabbing attention with a provocative message is nothing new in politics or advertising in general. But what has set Chambers' ads apart is how they combine a strong message with the visual language of a music video. To create these ads, Chambers is working with a Baton Rouge-based filmmaker, Eric Marino, and United Public Affairs, a firm founded by campaign staff vets from Andrew Yang's presidential run. So these guys have been doing this in the political sphere for a minute, all right? So, good thing in my opinion is getting the attention it should get. Earned media, we're talking about it, but the message behind it is powerful as well, because he's talking about the system is not broken, which I have echoed for years. It's doing exactly what it is designed to do. It is doing the work of creating or trying to create a permanent underclass. You see, the only way this system works is if there's a permanent underclass to make it so. And that's the design. You see, the system does not need to be fixed. The system needs to be broken. Francesca, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I love it. Look, a lot of the people who worked on the ad, they were formerly Andrew Yang folks. I think they're betting on a better horse here, at least someone with better principles.
Yeah.
I really like Gary Chambers, and I think that as someone who does this for a living, right, and has done a lot of internet videos, combining a powerful image, smoking a blunt, burning a Confederate flag with tons of stats about how disproportionate our backwards laws fall on the backs of Black Americans and criminalize them and prevent them from the ballot box, and just picking that up. I love it. I love that combo. And look, I don't know if he's gonna win in terms of going up against John Kennedy here, a Republican in Louisiana, but at least he's making a mark. He is firmly rooted in the South, and I think we all know that our history, American history, depends on social movements in the South led by Black Americans and always has. And I think, and will, at least all my political mentors are like, eyes on the South,
Yeah.
And I think Gary Chambers is part of that future and part of that fight, and kind of in a moment when we are taking loss after loss after loss, saying, look, we're not gonna take this lying down. Here is your Confederate flag on fire.
That's right. Very well done. He will win. He has already won. Anytime you inspire people for right, inspire people for truth, you win, no matter what the outcome is of an election.